Authority marketing. How to position yourself as a trusted authority and create products your audience will love. I've yet to hear a digital product seller say that they're aiming for mediocre sales. And yet that's exactly the sort of results most sellers are getting from selling ebooks, videos, apps, membership sites, and similar products. Average, mediocre, sometimes dismal. Here's why. A lot of digital product sellers make one crucial mistake. They focus on every part of the sales process except the one that matters the most. Maybe you can relate. You tweak the sales letter to optimize conversions. You create the perfect product. You test titles, you test prices, you test ad venues. And despite this massive amount of work, your sales just aren't where you'd like to see them. Now listen, good sales copy, a professional presentation, and in-demand product are important. Very important. Those factors definitely drive sales. But if you're missing one key ingredient, your sales are going to bottom out. What's that key ingredient? It's this. You need to be a recognized celebrity, authority, or expert in your niche. Let me make this clear. If you don't have positive name recognition in your niche, then you're going to struggle. Simply put, people don't buy unless they're buying from celebrities, authorities, and experts. You can see examples of this all around you in every niche under the sun. For example, plenty of dog trainers all around the globe publish books, share their tips, and try to build an audience. They've got some fantastic tips. They've even got groundbreaking information to share, but no one is listening. Then Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, comes along and can offer the most mundane dog training tip in the world, and people hang on his every word. They praise the tip up and down in dog training groups, forums, and other communities. Meanwhile, all the other dog trainers are just flabbergasted. They've shared the same tip. Heck, they've shared way better tips. But it all falls on deaf ears because no one listens, unless you're an expert or niche celebrity. Another example, let's suppose you're really into golfing, and some dude named Joe Blow offers to give you a golf lesson for $100. You've never heard of this guy. You have no clue if he's an expert, much less a good golfer. So you can bet you decline pretty fast because you're not willing to risk $100 getting golfing tips from some random guy. Now imagine Tiger Woods made that same offer to you. If you were an avid golfer looking for lessons, would you jump on it? Of course you would. Tiger Woods hits the trifecta in this example by having authority among golfers, being an expert, and being a celebrity. If he shares a golfing tip, writes a book, or started giving lessons, his legions of fans and followers would be all over it. Let me give you another big example that demonstrates the power of celebrity. Oprah Winfrey. If Oprah so much as whispers the name of a book or a product, it turns into an instant bestseller. This was especially true when she still had her Oprah show on the network stations. She doesn't need to be an expert on the topic of the book or type of product. Just the fact that she is this well-known, trusted celebrity who's known for recommending good products is enough for her huge fan base. Tell you what, if I went on TV and recommended the exact same motivational book as her, the author wouldn't even register a sales bump. I don't have any type of authority or celebrity in that area. But if Oprah recommends it, the author becomes an instant bestseller. So you can see the point. If you want to sell anything online, either your own products or affiliate offers, you need to be an expert, authority, and/or a celebrity in your niche. Simply put, once you've gained expert status, then you can start selling more products, selling higher priced products, and selling products more often. Now the good news is that you don't need to have the same expert or celebrity status as the people mentioned above. You don't need to be as well known as Tiger Woods. You don't need to have a household name. Heck, if your next door neighbor doesn't even know who you are, it doesn't matter. What you do need to have is to have name recognition and status within your niche. And that's exactly what you're about to find out how to do over the course of this guide. In the coming pages, you'll discover how to blanket your niche with content in order to build authority, expertise, and/or celebrity. How to structure your offer in order to get more sales. By the time you finish reading this, you'll know how to build your expertise, authority, and celebrity in the niche, even if you're virtually unknown at this moment. Let's get started. Flooding your niche with content. Here's the key to this strategy. Every time your prospects and customers are online looking for information in your niche, you want them to see your name and your content. Because if they see your name every time they're in your niche, that's going to create familiarity, and it's going to create the association that you're one of the top experts in your niche. Tip: when you read anything about content inside this guide, keep in mind we're referring to high-quality content. In other words, don't use cheap writers who have English as a second language to create your content. If you're hiring, then hire professionals who will make you look good, and definitely outsource the writing to a pro if you don't have the skills to do it yourself. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at how to start flooding your niche with content. Start your own blog. This is an absolute requirement. You need to have your own platforms on which to showcase your content. You want people to come to your blog, something that you own, in order to get the latest and best content. Here are tips for creating content for your blog. Create a variety of content. This includes tips, opinion articles, in-depth how-to content, product reviews, infographics, and more. Then do some tracking and testing in order to determine what sort of content your audience responds to the best. Blog regularly. You can't develop a good relationship with your audience if you're blogging sporadically. That's why you'll want to create a publishing calendar and get content out on a regular basis, at least weekly if not daily, depending on your niche. Blog when there is big news in the niche. Even if you don't have any content scheduled on your publishing calendar, you'll want to post if there is any big relevant news happening in your niche. In fact, you want to be the first to post about it, and you want to offer the best analysis of the situation. Provide unique content. In other words, give your readers something they can't find anywhere else. This doesn't mean that everything they read on your blog needs to be never-before-seen content, but it should be fresh in some way, such as a fresh way of teaching information along with fresh tips not seen elsewhere. Optimize for the search engines. When your prospects and customers search Google and other search engines for content in your niche, you want your blog to show up. If you don't know much about search engine optimization, then hire an SEO pro to do this for you. Just be sure your content reads well for humans first and secondarily is optimized for the search engines. Here's the next idea. Build an email list. Another platform that you'll want to own and build is your newsletter list. This is one of the biggest assets you can create because it allows you to get in touch with your prospects and customers at any time, and you're never at the whim of the rules associated with a third-party platform. The second reason it's so important to build your own list is because it gives you great opportunity to establish your expertise and authority in your niche, providing you're sending high quality and useful content. What's more, you get to take advantage of this opportunity in two ways. One, via your lead magnet. If you're using an information product, such as an ebook, video, or even access to a membership site as a lead magnet, then this is a great opportunity to establish yourself as an expert authority in the niche. Two, via your emails. This includes both the content you send via your autoresponder, as well as the live broadcasts you may send at other times. In both cases, the same applies here as on your blog. Be sure to send out high-quality, useful content that your prospects can't get anywhere else. In addition, follow these additional tips for engaging readers. Create a series. This trains your readers to open your emails. Just be sure to spend a line or two at the end of each email building anticipation for the next email in the series. Craft compelling subject lines. People decide whether to open and read your emails largely based off the subject lines. That's why it's a good idea to create benefit-driven or even curiosity-arousing subject lines. You'll also want to use your autoresponder's built-in testing tools in order to uncover subject lines that boost your open rates. Share your best content with your subscribers. Make subscribers feel special and impress them at the same time with your expertise by sharing some of your very best content via email. Tell readers why your methods work. Don't just tell readers to complete a process a certain way. Take it a step further and tell them why your method works and why it works better than other people's methods. If you can supply data, such as a case study, even better. Here's the next method for blanketing your niche with content. Get on social media. If you spend any time on social media sites, such as Facebook or Twitter, you may notice that your friends tend to share content from the same pages or people repeatedly. Now imagine in your niche if it's your content that was getting seen, liked, shared, and commented on regularly by your audience. You can bet the more people are commenting and sharing your content, the deeper you'll be able to reach into your market on these platforms. Which brings us to the first point. Which platform or platforms should you be using? Answer. You need to do your market research in order to determine where your specific audience is most likely to congregate. And of course, the type of content you're sharing will come into play too. For example, if you share videos, then you definitely need to be on YouTube. Here are the top platforms for you to consider: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. Keep these tips in mind as you start setting up your platform and sharing content. See what works in your niche. Follow your competitors and see what sort of content they're sharing. Then take note of the type of content and format that gets the most likes, shares, and comments. For example, if infographics seem to be shared like crazy in your niche, then you'll want to create some infographics too. Be sure to track their performance, for example, shares, to get a feel for what your audience likes. Set up a Facebook group. This gives you a chance to further showcase your expertise. Again, Share content with your group members that's not found everywhere else on the web. Here's the next method for flooding your niche with content. Blog as a guest author. The key to this method is to be sure you're submitting high-quality content to high-quality blogs. Your audience is going to associate you with the quality of the blog on which they find your content, so be sure your content is associated with the better blogs in your niche. There are 2 ways to find guest blogging opportunities. 1. Search Google for blogs that specifically solicit guest content. For example, you can search for your niche keywords, such as gardening, alongside terms that may indicate a blogger is soliciting content. These terms include guest blog, guest article, guest content, guest author, submit article, submit guest content, article submission guidelines, guest blogging guidelines, and similar search terms. 2. Approach other blog owners directly. Not all blog owners solicit guest content. However, that doesn't mean you can't email them and propose you being a guest author. You might even propose a content swap, where you each create content for the other person's blog. In order to get a higher rate of acceptance so you can get more of your content on more blogs around the web, follow these guidelines. Figure out what works. Take a look at the type of content that the blog owner publishes frequently, and then model your content after that general style. For example, if you see a lot of tips posts written in a conversational or even funny style, then you too will want to create a semi-humorous tips post. Create compelling blog titles. This will not only capture the editor's attention so that they'll read your submission, but it will also boost your read rate when the article gets published. Use your byline wisely. Your byline shouldn't talk about you. Rather, it should be a promo that points back to your website. Preferably, you should link to a lead page so you can get readers on your mailing list. One way to do this is to offer part 2 of the content they just read in exchange for an email address. Offer something exclusive. If you want to get posted on the top blogs in your niche, then you can't offer them content that you've already published or plan to publish elsewhere. That's why you'll want to create exclusive, fresh content for the best blogs. Here's the next idea for getting more content out in your niche. Do webinars. Another way to establish yourself as an expert in your niche is to offer webinars on specific in-demand topics. Not only can you offer the live webinar as a high-value freemium or even a tripwire offer, but you can also offer the recordings replays to future prospects. As you develop your webinar, keep these tips in mind. Use a reliable platform. Your professional image will be tarnished if you choose a platform with glitches or crashes during your presentation. Practice with your platform. Before you try out a platform for the first time, test drive it a few times privately so that you know how to use all the features and functions. Create a polished presentation. Unless you are a total pro, don't just wing it during the webinar. Instead, create a professional presentation with videos and/or slides and/or practice screen sharing. You'll also want to practice what you'll say during the presentation, but don't read a script word for word because you'll likely sound unnatural and robotic. Instead, focus on conveying a light conversational tone. Offer good information up front. People have short attention spans, so they'll be happy with your webinar if they get some really good information in the first minute or so. In other words, start your webinar off with a bang. Field questions at the end. This gives you a chance to showcase your expertise. If the questions and/or your answers don't really add much value to the webinar, then you can cut them out of the recordings before distribution. Watch other people's popular webinars. These could be in your niche or not. The point is to look at the way people present information and how they keep viewers engaged. Then model your own webinar style after these successful others. Here's something else that's really important. Create great products. So far, we've mainly been talking about how to blanket your niche with free content. That's an important part of your sales funnel, but you also want to make sure you create a suite of high-quality products that solve specific problems. Keep these tips in mind. Offer something unique. As always, you want to share something novel. This might be the information itself, or it could be a fresh way of presenting the information. Tip: one way to create something unique is to share case studies. While others may also do case studies in your niche, no two are exactly alike. Just be sure you create something backed with a lot of data, pics, and videos where applicable. Create professional, engaging content. Even if you're sharing content that no one has heard about before, your audience is likely to be disappointed if your presentation is lacking. That means you need to proof text products and be sure video, audio, and text products all look and sound professional. Hint: hire a pro to design the interiors of your ebooks and/or do video production if you don't have the skills to create a polished end product yourself. Present instantly actionable information. Even if you're sharing a process that takes a while to fully implement or get results, such as weight loss, You want to be sure to share information that people can put to work immediately and start seeing some results quickly. For example, weight loss takes time, especially if someone has a lot of weight to lose. But if you can offer a tip that tells people what to eat and drink to feel full longer, that will give them results, feeling satiated, that they can enjoy instantly. Provide a call to action. People who take action on the information you're sharing are going to end up being more satisfied customers because they'll start getting results. They'll also view you as an expert if they get great results. So be sure to encourage customers to act on the information, both in the product itself as well as in follow-up emails that you send. Here's the next idea. Publish a physical book. People tend to view those who've written a physical book as an utmost authority in the niche, which is why you'll want to get a book into print. Now here's the good news. You no longer need to go through the tedious process of getting accepted by a publisher, nor do you need to spend thousands of dollars creating, publishing, stocking, and fulfilling your book. Instead, all you have to do is use a service like CreateSpace.com to help you get your physical book published and in marketplaces such as Amazon. Keep these tips in mind. Be sure to format according to the guidelines. If you don't, you're going to end up with a poor result, which doesn't exactly say, "I'm an expert." Get professional cover graphics, and be sure you're working with a designer who knows and understands how to design covers for physical books. Create a back cover blurb that touts your expertise. The back cover should not only talk about the book itself, but also present a short bio that lists your credentials. Design an official book launch. Get marketing partners to promote your book, place paid ads, and generally do a big promo blitz in order to push for as many sales as possible on the day you release your book. This helps push it up the sales charts, which gives you added exposure and in turn further establishes your expertise. After all, if someone sees that your book is a bestseller in your niche, then they're going to figure you're an expert. Now let's take a look at the next idea. Syndicate your content. Another good way to blanket your niche with content is by syndicating select pieces of content. You can do this by publishing your content on select platforms such as medium.com. You can also use a service like outbrain.com to get more exposure for your content. Place paid ads. There are multiple ways to do this, all of which help you build recognition as an expert in your field. Check out these ideas. Design a brand building campaign. Typically, this means placing graphical ads with your branding on tightly related sites in your niche. Be sure to offer a compelling reason for people to click on your ad, such as a valuable lead magnet. Use pay-per-click marketing, such as Google AdWords. This allows you to target very specific people who are searching for information in your niche. Be sure to choose highly targeted keywords, often long-tail keywords, in order to get the best results. For example, a keyword such as online marketing is too broad because you have no idea what the searcher wants. Do they want a definition of the phrase? Is it a grandmother somewhere trying to figure out what her grandson does for a living? Is it someone looking for information about traffic generation, branding, or something else? There's no way to tell from that search term. Retarget visitors. Platforms like Facebook let you retarget visitors, which means those who've been to your site will see ads for whatever it is they were looking at when they visited. This is a good way to build brand recognition and bring people back to your site, so that you can then showcase your expertise. Point is, if people are seeing your name and content everywhere they go online, familiarity and trust grows, and these two things are needed when you're establishing yourself as an authority in your niche. Offer offline talks. We've mainly focused on ways to grow your authority online, but you can certainly do the same thing offline too. And one way to do that is by offering offline talks to targeted groups. There are two main ways to do this. 1. Offer yourself as a guest speaker. Here you'll get in contact with local groups and let them know that you're available to offer free talks at their meetings. For example, if you're in the gardening niche, then offer yourself as a guest speaker at a local gardening organization meeting, such as the Garden Club. Be sure to hand out outlines, tips sheets, or other information to participants. This content should provide further information as well as direct listeners to your website to get even more information. 2. Set up your own events. Here you'll need to either rent conference space, such as in a local hotel, or do a joint venture with a local business owner, who will appreciate the extra foot traffic. You'll need to do plenty of local advertising in order to get a good crowd, which in turn gives you that credibility boost. For example, if you want to give a gardening talk, then do a joint venture with a nursery owner to give a free talk on a Saturday morning. In both cases, the key to this strategy is to film yourself giving these talks, and then offer a professionally produced and edited video that you can upload to your website, to YouTube, and to other social media pages. That way you get the benefit of a boost to your credibility and expertise. That's because people view those who give talks in front of groups as experts on the topic. So, even if this is your first time giving a talk and you're still relatively new to your niche, you'll be viewed as an instant expert just by virtue of having given the talk. Now the next idea, distribute press releases. Another way to build brand recognition in your niche is to create and distribute press releases. Here's why it works. When you take out an ad in a newspaper, most everyone who's reading the newspaper knows that it's a paid advertisement. And so they don't hold the content, no matter what it is, in as high regard as they do the content in the rest of the newspaper. That's why press releases are different. Readers know the release wasn't paid for, and they know the release was also approved by the editor for the paper. As such, those reading your release hold you and your content in a higher regard. Your content is more credible, and you're seen as an authority expert in the niche. To that end, you need to think of ways to create releases that are newsworthy while helping position you as an expert. Keep these tips in mind. Browse successful releases. To get a feel for what the editor of your local newspaper likes, read several copies of the paper to see what types of releases he or she accepts and publishes. Once you get a feel for the overall preferred style and content, then you can submit something similar for your business. Read guidelines carefully. Editors, especially those working for big publications, tend to get a lot of submissions crossing their desk in any given week. These editors will instantly reject any submission that don't meet their guidelines. For example, if you email a release as an attachment, when the guidelines clearly state the release needs to be copied into the body of the email, your release will get rejected. Or if you email a release when the editor specifically requests release by postal mail, again you'll be rejected. Point is, read the guidelines carefully and follow them to the letter. Develop relationships with editors. Always be polite and professional with editors, saying thank you for consideration and thank you when your release is printed. Stay in touch with editors who print your releases and build relationships with them, which will increase the chances of them printing your future releases. Quote yourself. Insert your own quotes inside releases helps position you as an expert in the field, which of course is the point of this entire exercise. You can start by submitting your releases to local media outlets. These you should send directly to the editors according to the guidelines printed on the outlet's website. The second thing you can do is submit your releases online by using press release distribution services, such as prweb.com. It's a good idea to optimize these releases for the search engines, as you're likely to get search engine traffic finding them. Again, this is useful in building your authority in a niche, as it's just one more place where your prospects and customers will see your name and content. Do other offline events. Earlier you learned about doing offline talks as a way to build authority and expertise in your niche. Here's another way. Do other offline events such as attending trade shows, expos, and similar events as a vendor, where you set up a booth to collect leads and sell products. Landing guest speaking spots at expos, workshops, and similar events. For the first method, purchasing a booth at a niche trade show, all you have to do is figure out which events are most targeted to your audience and which ones tend to get the most traffic. You'll want to talk to the event's organizers as well as those who've had booths at a particular show before to get a feel as to how much traffic you can expect to walk by your booth. Tip: save money and increase interest at your booth by sharing a booth with a vendor who doesn't directly compete with you. For example, let's suppose you're at a gardening expo, and let's further suppose you sell gardening information such as books and DVDs. You can do a joint venture with someone who sells physical supplies such as potting soil, mulch, seeds, and so on. The second method, landing a speaking gig or demo at an expo, conference, workshop, or similar event, requires a little more legwork. But this extra legwork is worth it because it's the method that will establish you as an expert. What you need to do is create proposals, inquiries, and send them to event organizers to offer yourself as a speaker or guest. Your job is to tell organizers why you'd be a valuable asset at their event. To that end, you'll want to let organizers know what sort of information you can present and why the audience will find it valuable. This proposal inquiry will be even stronger if you send video clips of you speaking at other events. This not only creates social proof, but it also gives organizers a sample of the sort of content they can expect to get from you. Be sure to find out from event organizers whether you can film your talk or demonstrate and distribute it freely around the web to establish your expertise. Indeed, you'll want to get it in writing that you're allowed to distribute the whole talk or even just a clip of it. Note: if event organizers refuse to allow event speakers to distribute their own talks, or at least clips, then you'll need to reconsider whether you want to pursue this strategy. Yes, speaking at the event will give you a credibility boost in your field. However, being able to show a clip to your audience further adds to this credibility, so it's important to be able to show clips of these speaking engagements. Now the next method for getting more content out into your niche. Get others promoting your work. Whether you're promoting a lead magnet or selling paid products, there are only so many of them that you can sell on your own. That's why you'll want to enlist others to help you promote your work. When you do this, you multiply your efforts exponentially, and suddenly, it seems like your name is everywhere in your niche. Here are 3 ways to get others to flood your niche with your content. Method 1. Start an affiliate program. Be generous with commissions. Create high-quality products. Produce high-converting sales pages. And you're sure to have plenty of people who are eager to promote your products. Now here's the key. Create content and promotions so that you have hundreds of affiliates all around the web promoting your business. For example, you can hold a customer sale and do an affiliate contest at the same time to blitz your niche with a whole lot of promotions for a specific product. This increased visibility will help you further establish your credibility and authority in the niche. Secondly, you need to create rebrandable content for your affiliates to distribute. This includes items such as reports, videos, an autoresponder series, solo emails, social media blurbs, blog articles, graphic ads such as banner ads. Be sure to create at least one piece of content for each of the above categories, and then regularly add new content for your affiliates to distribute each month. That way, you keep your name and branding in front of your audience. Method 2. Sell resell rights. Another way to get greater distribution of your content, especially your paid products, is by selling the resell rights. That way you can have dozens or even hundreds of marketers in your niche, all promoting your paid products. Here are tips to keep in mind. Do not offer PLR, private label rights. If you do this, people can change your content, perhaps in an unsavory way, and/or they can remove your name and branding. Stick to selling resell rights that prohibit modification of the content. Create branded material. For example, an ebook interior should include your branding prominently to help build brand recognition. Consider selling premium resell rights materials. If your resell rights licenses carry a higher price tag, then you'll generally attract a higher quality of buyer. This is important in keeping your name associated with high-quality marketers and sites. Install terms that prohibit unsavory behavior, such as spamming. Then make it clear in the terms that a license holder's license may be revoked if the seller engages in prohibited activities. This helps protect your content and branding. Tip: get an attorney to create your terms or at least review them so that you know if your terms are legally binding. Be sure to install back-end offers. Ideally, point readers towards your lead page so that you can build your list on the back end. And finally, Method 3. Create a customer referral program. Some of your best advocates are your satisfied customers, so it's a good idea to create a customer referral program. That way, your customers are spreading the word about your products and helping you build brand recognition. Tip: it's a good idea to offer a two-way referral program, which means both the customer and the person he referred get a reward. For example, let's suppose you're selling access to a monthly membership site. You might offer both the referring customer and the referral 1 or 2 months free in the membership site if the referral joins the site. Or you might offer discounts, such as 50% off coupons for both the referring customer and the referral. Now let's look at other ways to boost your authority while distributing content in your niche. Work with other experts. There are plenty of people in your niche who are well-known authorities, experts, and even celebrities of a sort. And these are exactly the type of people with whom you want to work, because you can borrow their credibility. Simply put, when people see your name associated with the top experts in your niche, then they're going to assume that you're an expert too, even if they don't yet know who you are. There are a variety of ways you can work with other experts, such as doing webinars together, crafting lead magnets together, creating paid products together, co-creating content, such as blog articles, co-endorsing each other on your respective platforms, swapping blog content or newsletter content. Obviously, a big-name expert isn't going to drop everything to work with you if you aren't yet known in your niche. That's why you'll want to follow these tips. Start working with lower-tier experts first. These experts are more likely to say yes to your request, which can help you get on the radar of the top experts in your niche. Develop relationships with partners. If you approach potential partners cold, you're likely to get a no. Instead, it's a good idea to develop name recognition and relationships with potential partners before you request some sort of a joint venture. For example, you can join a potential partner's affiliate program and make them a lot of money with sales, which will get the marketer to take notice of you. Join a potential partner's community discussions, such as on their blog or Facebook page, and post thoughtfully. Send private messages to potential partners, Open up a dialogue about something they've written, a product or similar. Use this as a springboard to start building a relationship with that person. Start with small, easy projects. A prospective partner is more likely to say yes to an incredibly easy project with a big return. That's why you want to start with easy projects in order to build trust and build a better relationship. And then later you can propose bigger projects. For example, you can ask a potential partner to submit one tip for a tips compilation article or report. In exchange for 2 minutes of the partner's time, they'll get link and exposure within the article or report. If this small project gives the person a good return, then they'll be more likely to say yes to your future requests. In sum, the idea behind these 3 methods is to get other people sharing your content, products, promotions, and other links. When you have others promoting your content, it carries more weight, which in turn positions you as an expert. Now the next tip to gain more credibility with your content: get interviewed. A lot of marketers create content by interviewing other experts in the niche. Sure, that's a great way to get some free and good content that's sure to attract targeted prospects. This works particularly well when the person being interviewed is a product creator and the person doing the interviewing is an affiliate for those products. But you may not want to approach and do interviews like that. Here's why. The person being interviewed will always be viewed as the expert, while the interviewer is simply that, an interviewer. Even if you're an expert in the field, if you interview other experts, then you'll just be viewed as the interviewer, the person asking the questions. And no amount of trying to position yourself as an interview on that call or webinar is going to change that. So here's what you do instead. You offer yourself as the guest expert whom other people can interview. And at least for now, you stop interviewing other experts. That puts you on a lower tier in the niche, which is something you don't want when you're trying to build authority. Here are ways to get other people to interview you. Offer yourself for interviews to your affiliates. Announce this on your affiliate blog and send emails to your affiliates about this offer. Let them know the benefits of doing this interview and encourage them to contact you ASAP before all your interview slots are gone. Approach interviewers directly. You've probably seen a few marketers in your niche who tend to do a lot of interviews. Chances are they're always on the lookout for new people to interview. So send them a proposal that lets them know why you'd make a great guest. Send along an interview clip too so they can listen to a sample. Get a friend to interview you. Your friend doesn't have to be anyone in the niche. They don't need to have any name recognition at all, since all they're doing is serving as the interviewer. Get on the phone or even do a video interview for greater effect. Edit and professionally produce the interview, and then post it on your site and distribute it among your visitors. Now let's look at the next way to help establish your authority in your niche. Provide your credentials. Another important way to establish your expertise in a niche is to outright tell people that you're an expert. Because if you don't share this with your niche, you can bet no one else will either. As always, your market isn't particularly interested in hearing a whole lot about you. They are interested in why they should listen to you and how you can help them solve their problems. And that's why you need to tell them why they should listen to you. That is why you're an expert. But you want to keep this information succinct. First, you need to think about what sort of credentials you can share with your audience. Consider these questions. Do you have any degrees in the field? Do you have work experience in the field? Have you won any awards or accolades in the field? Have you pioneered a new strategy in the niche? Have you been able to provide results for others? Have any big names enjoyed results with your methods? What else can you think of that would help establish your authority expertise? Then you need to think about where to share this information. Here are the top places to do so. On your blog or website in the About section, inside your sales letters, where you tell people why they should buy from you, in one of the front pages of your ebooks and reports, such as right after the title page, in the beginning of videos or webinars, in the About sections of your social media accounts, in an explainer video on your website, in an introductory email in your autoresponder. Again, you don't want to drone on with a long biography every time you share your credentials. In some cases, you may simply drip some of the information out over time, consistently. For example, let's suppose you're writing a social media or blog post. You might have a line in there that says something like this: in my 15 years as a personal trainer, or last year when I won a Business Person of the Year award, or I've helped over 570 clients get great results. These are very simple as far as implementation goes, but they're effective ways to remind readers that you're an expert in your field. One final tip. If you can show visitors that you're an expert via a photograph or video, then do so. For example, let's suppose you're a personal trainer. In that case, you would seek to take a photo that shows you in a professional environment, such as in a gym, for example, with barbells behind you. Or let's say you're a veterinary technician who's writing about dog health. In this case, you might take a photo of you with your scrubs on, perhaps working with a dog. A quick glance at the photo will clearly show you're an expert in the field. Here's a related tip. Get personal. In order for people to view you as a trusted authority in the niche, they need to get to know you a bit. And one way for that to happen is to get a little personal from time to time. This means uploading your photo to your blog, social media accounts, and other platforms. In other words, don't just upload branded business photos. Upload your personal photos too to use in your profile. Share personal details from time to time. This works particularly well if the personal details are relevant to the niche. For example, let's suppose you're a dog trainer. You might share the personal news of you getting a new puppy. Don't forget the cute pics, which your audience is sure to fawn all over. You may also share other big news, even if it's not directly relevant to the niche. For example, you may share a big life event with your readers, such as getting married or having a baby. This helps people relate to you and bond to you, and in turn, that develops trust, so they're more likely to listen to you. If you want to see an example of how a big celebrity gets personal, just look back on Oprah Winfrey's past work, as well as viewing her social media profiles, such as on Facebook. Sharing her life in raw detail is what helped her bond to her audience. Now, while you may not share that much, as it's likely not as beneficial to your particular business model, looking at her content gives you an idea of how to get personal with the audience. Next, build brand recognition. As mentioned elsewhere in this report, it's important that you brand all your content in order to build brand recognition. This includes branding on your blog, social media accounts, product graphics and packaging, newsletters, interior or your lead magnets and products, and everywhere else that your prospects and customers are likely to encounter. Tip: if you haven't yet developed a brand, then this is something you'll want to invest a good amount of time doing. A brand is not just a slogan or a logo or some colors. Instead, it's about conveying a feeling. Your brand's job is to help evoke this feeling every time your prospects and customers see your branding. Let me give you an example. Godiva is a luxury chocolate maker, and this feeling of luxury and indulgence is embedded in every part of their website, packaging, content, and overall customer experience. If you're familiar with the brand, then just looking at a package of Godiva chocolate stirs that luxury, indulgence feeling in consumers. That's just an example. You'll need to determine what your prospects and customers feel when they interact with your brand or how you'd like them to feel, and then develop a brand that's consistent with that feeling. You may want to hire a brand consultant to help you with this process. Now the next tip, deliver high-quality content. Earlier in this report, we hinted at this tip, but since it's so important, it's worth mentioning it as a standalone tip. The bottom line here is that you can't just publish any old content. Every single piece you publish needs to be high-quality content. That means every piece should possess these characteristics. You've proofed it. It's engaging. It's well-written. It's well-researched. It's fact-checked. Because here's the thing. If your content has several typos, people are going to assume that the information you're sharing is low quality. The ruder among your readers may even question your intelligence, which is completely unfair, but that's just the way some people operate. If your content has even one factual error in it, even something as simple as where you clearly transposed a number, your readers are going to have a hard time trusting the rest of your content. That's why you need to double-check or triple-check your facts. So, fairly or not, you are judged by the way you present your content. As such, be sure every piece you put out, long or short, is a high-quality piece that helps you project a professional image. And finally, create interaction. When you have a chance for people to interact with your content, such as when you post it on your blog, with comments on, or on social media, then you should encourage your visitors to like, share, and comment. Here's why. When people start interacting with your content, they feel more bonded to you. They trust you. And yes, this all helps with them seeing you as a trusted expert in your niche. After all, people don't share content from those they don't know, like trust and respect. To that end, you need to figure out how to get people interacting with your content. Here are 3 tips. Make sure your content is share-worthy. It should include something your audience can't find anywhere else, and this information should be really useful. If your content is able to evoke emotion, such as if you tell a motivational story related to the niche, that's even better. Encourage commenting. If you post something on social media or on your blog, then ask your audience to contribute to the conversation. You may ask an intriguing question such as, "What do you think?" Provide a call to action. The idea here is to specifically tell your readers what you want them to do, such as share or comment on your content. Let's take the above example and add a call to action. What do you think? Add your comment below now. In summary, so as you can see, there are a whole lot of ways, both free and paid, to flood your niche with content, which in turn builds your celebrity, expertise, and authority in the niche. Just remember to not only put out a lot of content, but also be sure it's high quality, extraordinarily useful, and unique content. That way, your prospects will start viewing you as a niche expert. Once you hit celebrity status in your niche, does that mean people are going to start buying a whole lot more of your products? Yes. But in order to maximize this strategy, you need to set up your offers the right way. That's what we'll talk about next, so read on. Structuring your offers. As you think about your offers and how people move through your sales funnel and progress through your content, keep in mind that prospects move through 3 distinct stages. Stage 1, awareness. This is where your prospect is first gaining awareness of your business and products. This stage is where you really want to showcase your expertise. That is, flood your niche with content, position yourself as an expert, etc. Here's where your prospect will come into content in places like your social media accounts, blog, and similar. They'll also likely encounter your lead page and sign up for your lead magnet, so you can start sending them information by email. Stage 2, evaluation. At this point, the prospect knows a bit about you and your product, but here's where they want to get more info so they can evaluate the offer. This is a good place for in-depth tutorials, again to further showcase your expertise. Case studies, white papers, webinars, follow-up emails, and similar content. Keep in mind that at this stage, your prospect is actively looking for what sets you apart from your competitors. That's why your content should not only showcase your expertise, but highlight your unique selling proposition, USP, as well, which brings us to the 3rd stage. Stage 3, decision. Here's where your prospect is going to make their final decision as to whether or not to purchase your offer. At this stage, you'll continue to showcase your expertise with your content, as well as provide product demos, social proof, and direct response sales content to seal the deal and make the sale. That's an overview of how the process works. So now let's look at implementation. How do you string these stages together when it comes to structuring your offers? Here's the general idea. Get them into your sales funnel. Offer low-priced offers. Create a ladder of follow-up offers. Let's look at each of these 3 steps in more depth. Draw prospects into your sales funnel. Your prospects have managed to find your content, perhaps through search engine optimization, or through a paid ad via an affiliate, or maybe even through another prospect who's sharing viral content on Facebook. You've got their attention. Now you need to hold their attention, arouse their interest, and them to your lead page. How? Good content. Whatever content they just stumbled into needs to be good, really good, to get them to your lead page. That's because your prospect has a lot of different people in your niche competing for her attention. If your content or offers, such as a really enticing lead magnet, doesn't stand out, she's going to be hitting the back button. She's looking for quality. She's looking for something that's going to solve her problems with instantly actionable content. And she's looking for something that's unique and better than what's already out there. Your content needs to deliver, big time. No rehashed 500-word articles that are as dry as a mouthful of dry crackers. You need to create content that wows the prospect and makes them eager to run to your lead page and to grab your lead magnet. And you need to then offer a string of follow-up emails that further engages them, solves their problems, and leads to your tripwire offer. Which brings us to the next point. Offer low-priced offers. At this point, your prospects have moved out of the initial awareness stage and entered into the start of evaluation stage. They've signed up for your list, so you're sending follow-up emails. They may also be following your blog and social media accounts. And you should be providing awesome content in all of these places. Now, your ultimate goal here is to turn a prospect into a cash-paying customer. But if you're looking to immediately turn them into a customer for your flagship offer, which is usually your premium/high price offer, or similar, then you may be in for a wait. That's because it may take a while for your prospect to consume enough content that they're ready to move out of the evaluation stage and into the decision stage. So here's a trick to accelerate this entire process. Create a high-value, low-cost product that your prospect absolutely cannot resist buying. If you structure this offer the right way, your prospects will move from evaluation of this offer to decision very quickly, perhaps instantly. The reason this should be low-priced is because it should be a spontaneous purchase. Your prospects have started to develop some trust in you during the awareness phase. They may not yet be ready to purchase a $100, $200, or $500 offer from you, but they are ready to purchase an irresistibly priced $10 offer. That's because that sort of purchase doesn't require as much evaluation. Now here's the key. Your $10 offer absolutely needs to blow them away. Your customers must be shocked that you're virtually giving away such valuable content at such a low price. Indeed, some of your customers may have even had experience with paying many times the amount you charged just to receive an inferior product from your competitors. And that's a good thing, because it will really help your product stand out. The reason you want your new customers to be absolutely blown away is because they're going to be very eager to purchase your other products now. Instead of spending weeks in the evaluation stage, you've just accelerated the process, turned them into a customer very quickly, and in short order, you're going to turn them into a repeat buyer. Of course, all of this rests on the customer actually using the Tripwire offer and getting value from it. Because if they don't use it, they probably won't buy anything else from you. That's why you need to take the following steps. Insert a CTA in the product. If you have an information product, such as an ebook, video course, or similar, then the product should include at least one, if not multiple calls to action, where you tell the customer to start using the information they just learned. For example, if you're selling a 5-module video training series with each video covering the 5 different parts of a process, then you may have a call to action at the end of each lesson. Be specific about what you want them to do next. E.g., you just discovered how to create high-converting headlines for your sales letter. Now it's time to act on what you just learned. Go ahead and brainstorm at least 24 potential headlines, then pick the top 3 or 4 that you can start testing. Make it easy to take action. The second key to getting prospects to take action is to make it easy for them to start implementing what they've just learned. Here are tips to help you do that. Offer a to-do list with small steps. This keeps people from getting overwhelmed. For example, if you want new bloggers to set up their website, then don't create a broad call to action that says set up your website. Instead, give them a mini to-do list with the smaller steps involved, such as purchase your domain name, buy web hosting, change your domain name servers to match your new web host, download the blog files from wordpress.org. Install the files according to the directions. Pick a new theme. Each of the above steps takes minutes rather than hours to do, so your users are likely to start taking action since no single task seems too overwhelming or time-consuming. Give them tools to help them act. Also, create a follow-up email series. A great way to engage your prospects and get them to use your product is by creating a follow-up email series. This gives you a chance to pop into your customer's inbox every few days to do the following. Remind them of the key benefits of the product they've ordered. Tell them how to get those benefits by encouraging them to use the product. Give them additional information to help solve their problems. Promote additional products to help them solve their problems. Now, the key here initially is to get your customers using the product. That's why you'll want to point to specific parts of the product and then encourage customers to use it. For example, let's suppose you have a health fitness app that helps people track how much sleep they get, whether they're drinking enough water, if they're exercising enough, if they're eating healthy, and so on. You might take each of these features, for example, sleep tracking, and point out the benefits of using these features in separate emails. E.g., so often we don't pay attention to how much we're sleeping, and yet we find ourselves dragging through the day, using caffeine and other drugs to get through the low periods. In some cases, lack of restful sleep is the culprit, and sleeping as little as an extra 20 minutes per night could make a world of difference. But here's the thing. The amount of time you lay in bed is not indicative of how much restful sleep you actually got. That's why the Tracker 2020 keeps track of how much you tossed and turned during the night and gives you a proprietary quality sleep score. Tell you what, I'm betting you'll be surprised by your score. So here's your next move. Log into your Tracker 2020 dashboard and click on the sleep link. Then go to the quality sleep option and click enable. It takes just a moment to do, and by tomorrow morning you'll find out your unique quality sleep score and how to improve it. That's just an example of taking one benefit of your product and specifically directing your customers to start taking advantage of that benefit. For best results, send out an entire series of emails, each of which encourages people to use the product to get a specific benefit. You can also use this series of emails to offer additional information to customers. In the example above, the email about tracking sleep, you might offer a handful of tips for improving sleep, such as avoiding caffeine in the late afternoon, exercising early in the day, turning off electronic devices an hour before sleep, and similar. The final thing you can do is pitch related products that will help customers solve their problems. Which brings us to the final step of this process of structuring your offers. Create a ladder of follow-up offers. You've blown your new customer away with an incredible high-value, low-price offer. Now you need to create a ladder of follow-up offers to maximize income while offsetting ad costs. Heads up, this is where the real money is in your business, that is on the back end. And that's why you need to plan a sales funnel of related offers to sell to your existing customers. The idea is to get your existing customers to buy more products and more expensive products from you. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose you're selling information about generating traffic to a website. Your Tripwire offer may have been an overview report that gives customers a good look at the top 5 ways to generate traffic, as well as tips for each of these methods. However, this Tripwire offer doesn't solve the customer's entire problem. While it is extremely useful and valuable in that it offers actionable, high-value tips, it doesn't provide the in-depth, step-by-step information needed to implement all 5 traffic generation techniques. That's where the core product comes in. The core product gives in-depth information on these top 5 traffic strategies. The customer can take the information they learn in this product, implement it, and start bringing in traffic immediately. Now you want to create a ladder of follow-up offers that do 2 things. 1. Make it even easier, quicker, and/or more profitable to implement those 5 strategies. 2. Offer additional strategies for getting targeted traffic and optimizing this traffic. Under the first category, making it easier/quicker/more profitable, you might present the following types of offers. Tools to help the prospect get more traffic. For example, if the core offer described how to use pay-per-click marketing to get traffic, then you might offer ad templates or even a copywriting course on the back end. Consulting. Here you offer personal coaching consulting to help people create a custom traffic strategy that meets their specific needs. Done-for-you offers. In this case, you offer 1 or more services related to the core offer. For example, you might offer to create and manage a pay-per-click campaign for the customer. The second category is all about offering additional related information. Here you might create the following types of products: reports, courses, membership sites, and video training that teach people other ways to get traffic, aside from the 5 mentioned in the original course. You may be able to create dozens of related offers beneath this category. Related information such as how to optimize a website to make the most of the traffic. As you can see, there are dozens of related products at a variety of price points that you can promote to maximize back-end income. Which brings us to this question: where do you promote these offers? For best results, you need to cross-promote these offers all throughout your sales funnel. This includes cross-promoting these offers in your follow-up emails. Take note that you should segment your lists according to what people have purchased, so that you're not sending ads to people who've already purchased a certain product. This creates higher conversions, since you can send more targeted ads and offers to your list segments. Promote products as upsells/cross-sells directly on the order form. Promote related offers on the download pages of products. Promote offers on thank you pages, such as the thank you confirmation page where users register for a webinar or sign up for your mailing list. Cross-promote offers from within the products themselves, for example, inside ebooks, videos, the dashboard of apps, membership sites, and so on. This includes promoting within both free lead magnet offers as well as paid products. Now let's wrap things up. Final thoughts. As you can see and may even know from personal experience, just having an awesome product and high-converting sales copy is no guarantee that you'll sell a lot of products. That's because people don't just want great products. They want great products from experts, authorities, and celebrities. The good news is that you now have a blueprint in your hand as to how to turn yourself into an expert, which in turn results in your future products becoming instant bestsellers. So don't wait a single moment longer. Start putting these strategies to work for you today, because the sooner you do, the sooner you can start reaping the very profitable rewards.